Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope you are doing great wherever you are. I'm super excited that you could join me today in today's video. I'm looking forward to sharing what I have today. It's a topic about money, and I'm hoping that you'll be able to contribute to the conversation uh, by asking questions or making comments in the comment section below. Please feel free to do that, and I will respond as soon as I get your comment or question, so we can keep the discussion going. In today's video, I would like to discuss making money work for you or for us. In many cases, most people make money, or they know how to make money. I think most people do. Most people know how to make money. So you make money. In most cases, it's work. So you go to work. You work a certain number of hours in a day, depending on the job. You are probably paid at the end of the day, or you are paid every 2 weeks. Many other people only get paid once a month. So you work, you get paid, and then after getting paid, you use the money to cover your needs. You use it on to pay rent. You use it to pay mortgage if you have a mortgage. You use it to buy food. So that's fine. So you make money and you use it. Or for people who are in business, you have your own business. You make money by selling stuff, or you make money by doing something, and then you get money from there, and you spend it on your daily needs. But that's not enough. So here, what you're doing is you are working for money. You work in order to make money. If you don't work, then you don't get paid. You don't get any money. So work, then get paid. As I say, this is okay, but it is not good enough, and it's not sustainable. Just think about it. When you work, or to work, you have to be physically able. You have to be fit, and you have to do it every single day. So think of those days, for example, where you probably are not able to work. Yeah, that can be temporary, but it can be long term as well. So if you get injured, for example, and you are unable to work, that can happen to some people. So you might say that that's not going to happen for you, but it can happen. But even if it didn't happen, and you kept working, there's going to be a time in your life, like when you attain maybe when you are 60 or 65, a time that comes when you are required actually to retire. So what happens then? What happens after that? So some people have maybe pension that they can rely upon, or old age income that they can get from the government. But usually that's not enough. And yeah, so you need to have, or you need to figure out a way of making money work for you. So you work for money. So ideally you want to work for some time. You want to work when you are able, when you are strong, and then at some point you want the money to take over, or what comes from your money to take over. So at that point, the money should be paying you. The money should be working for you to pay you. So what do you need to do, or what do we need to do to make our money work for us? There is a money principle, or a money law, a money rule that is very important for us to know, and it's a rule that says pay yourself first. So when you get a paycheck, when you're paid, the first thing that you should think about is paying yourself. So this is a law or principle or rule, if you want to call it that way, that has been around for quite some time. It was it was around as early as 1926, for example, and even before then. This little book I have here, The Richest Man in Babylon, it was written by George S. Clason, and he wrote this book, or he published it in 1926. It's a long time ago, and I think even he wrote it before then. So he has that principle here. So pay yourself first. If you'd like to read this book, I recommend it. It's a very good book. Its English is dated. It's old, but I think it's still, you can still understand it without any problem. It's not like the super old English, but it's still it's old, but you can still understand it without any problem. So yeah, it has a wealth of other useful information, useful financial information that you can benefit from. So I recommend it. If it's not a very expensive book, yeah, you can always buy it and read it. Yeah, he talks about money and the money principles using to say Proverbs. This is a word that I'm looking for. It's disappeared. But yeah, he talks about money in a very clear way. So the principle that I want to talk I want to talk about today, or the one that I mentioned earlier on, pay yourself first, is described here, and apparently it's the principle that the richest man in Babylon used to become rich. And any rich person, I think, many rich people have used that principle as well. So using that principle, you can become financially independent, you can become financially stable, and you can become rich. It's not like a get rich quick thing. It's something that helps you build money. So when you get your paycheck, the first thing that you should do is pay yourself first. You might ask yourself like what that really means, because the money you're getting is yours. You're getting paid, right? But think about it. When the money gets in, you are writing a check maybe to someone else. You are using it to pay rent. That's not yours. Of course, you are living in the house, yes, but it's not money. It's going away. You are using money to buy food. Again, you're giving that money to the grocery store owner, or the person who owns the business from which you're buying that stuff. So at the end of the day, you are buying stuff, but it's not really your money. It's gone. You've gotten something out of it, but it's gone. And it's gone. You're not going to get it back. So the idea behind paying yourself first is, or has to do with retaining some of the money that comes in. So that's paying yourself first. So you retain the money, and the money that you retain is yours to keep. It shouldn't go away. It's the money that you should put together and keep putting together until it grows and grows and enables you to become rich. So George Clason suggests, and I think many people have said that, at the very minimum, pay yourself 10%, 10% of what you earn, 10% of what comes in. So you can calculate that. So that's the very minimum. Calculate what 10% is of your 10% of your pay. How much is that? And make sure that doesn't go away. Yeah, you retain it. And whatever you retain, don't just save it. Don't just put it in a savings account. Savings accounts all over the world, I think, pay the least amount of interest ever. Of all the investments out there, savings accounts make or pay the least amount of interest. In many, I think many banks in Canada, and I think in the US and many developed countries now, they're paying very little, maybe 1%, 1.5%, if you're lucky, maybe 2%. So that's not much. So you need to find investments that pay more than that. So don't stash your money just in a savings account. Find investments that can pay more. Ideally, the investment should be passive, so where you don't do much work. You invest, you put there the money, and then the money generates more money. If you invested, for example, in the stock market, dividend paying stock, for example, or even just growth stock, or just plain ETFs or index funds, those can also bring you money. So some may not pay you money, but maybe they reinvest the money that comes in, the money that maybe it should be due to you in the form of dividends. Maybe they reinvest that. Or companies that don't pay dividends usually reinvest the earnings. So they make money, but instead of paying the investors or people who invest with them, they reinvest the money, and the business grows, and they're able to make more money, and then the stock price of that company goes up. So you benefit that way. So invest the money, invest your 10% that you retain, 10% from paying yourself first. You invest that money. And as I said, the 10% is just a minimum. If you are able to, you can push that up. You can maybe push it up to 20% or 25%, depending on what you're able to do, to set aside comfortably. So maybe comfortable is not the word that we should use. Sometimes you have to push yourself. You force yourself to save. You force yourself to set aside more, as much as you can. And yeah, believe me, if you have like that money, even that 10% working for you, every month you take, or every 2 weeks you keep 10%. Every month you do the same, 10%. In about 10-15 years, you'll have lots of money, or that money will have grown. Let me not say lots. I think lots is relative. There are going to be people who think maybe $100,000 is not a lot of money. Some people who think that maybe 200,000 is not a lot of money. So, but you're going to have more money than you think. Yeah, so the idea is to make sure you retain 10% or more. So you pay yourself first, and whatever you retain, the 10% that you retain, do not stash it in a savings account. Put that money to use. Invest it in the stock market. Invest it in dividend-paying stock. Invested in ETFs, invested in index funds, and your money will most definitely grow. So there will be money that the money, the additional money, say from dividends that is coming in, is when it's reinvested, it also brings in more money. So through compounding, you're going to have a very a substantial amount of money, say 10, 15, 20 years afterwards. And be sure to be consistent. So don't pay yourself this month and then stop the next month, or pay yourself first for 1 year and then stop. It wouldn't work like that, it wouldn't help us much. So do it consistently, do it over and over again, as as long as you're working, or for the entire duration of time that you're working, from the time you start applying this pay yourself first principle. Just don't stop. Keep at it until until you retire. Yeah, and I forgot to say, like, some people contribute their money, some of their money, to SACCOs. Like in I think this is common in African countries, SACCOs, so savings and credit cooperative societies. So these are groups where people come together, they form these groups, and they contribute little money to those groups. I think there's usually a minimum that is set, so you contribute that money to there, and the money is loaned to members. I think you're loaned maybe 3 times the amount you have, or 3 times the shares that you have. I think others, there's some that maybe lend out 4. So if you need a loan, they give you the money, and the interest that they charge is usually lower than the banks. And then also at the end of the year, they usually also pay out a dividend. So they pay out dividends annually. So that's also, so if you're doing that, I think that's good enough that you can channel your 10%, the 10% that you have paid yourself, you can channel it into SACCOs as well. So there are many other options out there, like how you can spend your money, how you can spend the money you paid yourself first with, the 10% or the slightly more than 10% that you retain. So it is very important to do that. A lot of people don't think about this, and I'm one of those people. I stumbled upon this this idea of paying yourself first pretty late in my career. Maybe if I had started doing that earlier, I would be, I would be a very rich man now. But I didn't do that. I just started recently, like when I came across, or when I stumbled upon the pay yourself first principle. So I'm saying recently, but I think it's almost 10 years, so it's been a while. So it's something that I highly encourage people to do. So please don't just rely on working for money. Don't just always work for money. Find ways of making money work for you. Thank you, and I hope I hope this has helped you or has opened your eyes to some of the things that you maybe don't usually hear about, or things that people don't tell you about. If you have any questions, comments, please, I'll be happy to hear them. Please use the comment section below. Thank you. And if you have learned something from this, please consider giving this video a like, and consider sharing it. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel to support it. Thank you.